Apparently, a lot is cooking right now on the internet. Phil Spencer made a statement that was in either Destiny's interview with him or someone. I don't know. I saw Destiny on Twitter saying that people were stealing his content and all of this stuff. Apparently, there's an interview that was done on Patreon. There's another gentleman who did an interview with Phil. But one of my audience members apparently messaged me and said, VG, Phil Spencer just said this. And he wrote it on my, comment section and said, we want our Xbox hardware to win based on the hardware capabilities we have. This is from user Ireland M5P. Now, here's the crazy thing, ladies and gentlemen. We all have kind of suspected that this is the direction Xbox would go. We all know that the Xbox is in their brand. They rely on the Xbox console. It's a huge chunk of Game Pass subscribers. It's a huge chunk of their audience. The hardware gives them a metric on how they should develop their games, because they now know we got to make our games to be able to run well on this spec of hardware, the Series S and the Series X, and then we can make, other versions from there on. So there are multiple layers of an advantage that it gives them. I know there are a lot of people who say, well, these games that are on, Xbox going to other platforms is causing Xbox hardware to make it difficult for people to actually buy into the ecosystem. To that, I say, no, you underestimate the power of good value. Xbox has the best value proposition right now in the entire gaming industry. Bringing Game Pass to everyone and doing this stuff. Oh my gosh, I told you they needed to do this. Bringing their games and putting them in people's faces and saying, this is the game you're going to play for this subscription cost. You can pre-install this game. It's coming out in May and we'll give you for this particular fee. Or you have the option, if you want, to pre-order and buy the game for the cost. Everything day one is at your fingertips. There's no other platform that's offering anything like that. The other platforms, they want you to only have one means of coming in. A $500 fee or $400 fee in the case of the Nintendo, and in the case of the PlayStation, or $700 if you come with a Pro, and then buy our game for $60. That market proposition, it may work for some people, but Phil Spencer has looked at it and said, you know what, this gaming industry, we need to pop this bubble that everyone is basically here sniffing on their own supply. One of my audience members said the reason that this Xbox console thing is having a problem, and I'm seeing a lot of people, PlayStation guys, Xbox guys, saying that Xbox is going to have a hard time next console generation. They're not going to be able to sell their consoles. I almost want to bet you, ladies and gentlemen, this generation is the last generation that you're going to see Xbox get looked down on. The moment next generation comes about, people are going to ask themselves a very important question. Where's the most valuable place for me to play games that values me as a customer, giving me options to be able to approach and address gaming? Their answer is going to be A, Xbox, B, Xbox, C, Xbox, D, Xbox. Circle all of the above, E. That's how it's going to play out. Simply because it's what they're doing right now. They're cultivating this whole thing. Forget about the PlayStation fanboys that are over there saying, oh, well, we're going to only pay for the games that we want to play. By all means, blow money how you choose. But the savvy gamer, the college kid, the person that is in, a situation where they look and say, wait, I mean, I can pay $30? I get 3 months of Game Pass. I can play these games. And then if I choose to, I can buy them on sale later. They're the people that are going to go to Xbox. Now, if you think that there are not enough people like that, well, put your money where it is. Let's see how it plays out next console generation. This audience member of mine was telling me that, and I asked them and I said, well, if you want PlayStation players to come and buy Xboxes, you need to buy a PlayStation as well to play the games that you want. And I asked them and said, would you do that? Do you know what they replied me? They said PlayStation would have to offer something at least on par to what Xbox is for me to even consider it, whilst also not locking my gaming just to PlayStation, and I don't think Sony would ever do that. To this audience member of mine, congratulations, you're buying the next Xbox generation of console. You're a guaranteed Xbox user. Why? The value is insane, isn't it? The value is just insane. Now, keep in mind, though, that you were complaining to me just now, right? Telling me that Xbox not selling enough consoles is simply because their games are going to PlayStation, and PlayStation not giving any games to Xbox in return. And so when I asked you and said, why not just go buy a PlayStation so that you can play these PlayStation games, you said no. They're not going to give you the value proposition that Xbox will. So let me go ahead and just put this out here. So people who are asking about exclusivity, right? This is a first world problem. Actually, it's not even considered a first world problem because it's not even a problem. That somebody else will get to play a game that's already available to you, that's no problem at all. That to me is just, you have almost no issue and no concern that you'd be worried about something so trivial that actually benefits you, by the way. It's not even just that it's trivial, it benefits you. In the sense that as these people play these games on other platforms, you get to play the game on your platform with all of the benefits, cross entitlements. Can you imagine that? Like, the cross entitlement thing was, to me, the biggest shock of everything. I've mentioned this story before. I went ahead and bought Gotham Knights on the Xbox console because people were talking about 60 FPS and 30 FPS. And, I'm a Gotham Knights content creator. So people are like, well, you're on PC. You don't know what it's like to play it on 30 FPS. So I said, all right, y'all acting like I didn't play 30 FPS games too back in a PlayStation 4 days. And I went and got the copy. Well, then the game came on Game Pass, and I was like, well, maybe I can play the PC version. I wonder if my save files are going to transfer. My save files transferred. Then the game was leaving Game Pass, and I was like, do I have to pay for it? Then I realized that the game was a Play Anywhere title, that I actually did have the whole game. And I could basically just fire up my PC and continue where I was playing. So the game that was locked at 30 FPS on the console because of the developer's choices to make the game co-op with local aspects. They could have done like The Division, but they decided they wanted you to have a local version of the game. I was not locked within the ecosystem. I could go leverage it and play it on my PC. I think that's a better value proposition. In fact, now, if I consider a console game, it's usually the Xbox version I will consider. Why? I get a better benefit. It's a better copy if the game has things like cross entitlement, cross play, play anywhere, or cloud streaming. Why would I buy a console game that locks me into the ecosystem where the game is pointless and useless? My Gotham Knights copy, and by the way, I bought a Gotham Knights copy on PlayStation. Don't give me that. That copy, I don't have access to crossplay. Whereas my buddies that play Gotham Knights that have asked me, hey man, you want to play Gotham Knights? I can play with them on my Xbox version, or I can play with them on Xbox. Because that particular entitlement is there. So again, me, the PC guy, I get these benefits for even just deciding, okay, maybe let me see what's going on in this ecosystem from a third-party game that's not even an Xbox game. What do you think my assessment of Xbox would be? Positive. Absolutely positive. And when Phil Spencer says that they want their own hardware to win based on what it provides, they're not just saying it in words, they are actually acting upon it. They are putting their money where their mouth is. And even the PC community is looking, going, the heck? Because we know, let me show you something. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying, that this is the best thing ever. We on the PC side, we came to PC because we are savvy. Like, we looked at what was going on console and we were like, nah. And then when we looked at, we looked at PC and said, look at this. These games on PC on Steam, they go on sale all the time. They're stupid. How easy they go on sale. Like, everybody does a sale. Everybody wants money. So Steam sales are not as restrictive as the PlayStation and other sales. Steam sales are just, publishers can just wake up, I guess, I don't know, and decide they want to just give games away. Even though I saw some games that were even on sale from the summer, from the Christmas holiday and from the Thanksgiving holiday. They just showed up on January 25th and were like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, but y'all were on sale the other day. And they're like, so what? So those of us that are looking at our, wallet can say, well, $60, $70, or $10. Your choice. Your choice. So again, all this stuff about the interview and what Phil said and all that, guys, we already know where this stuff is going. As soon as the reality continues to pop more bubbles, you're going to start seeing these folk go get their secret Game Pass. While they and their friends are yelling console war, no exclusives. All these people on Twitter that are saying, there are no exclusives, they are getting Game Pass. Don't let them fool you, folks. They are getting their Game Pass subscription quick. They are not playing around. They're going to be like, oh, but Xbox makes it. I'm going to buy it on my PlayStation. You won't be able to buy all of them on your PlayStation at full price with a good conscience. you'll get that Game Pass. Somebody told me this. They said, I'm clueless. This person said to me, they said, really, guy? You're clueless. Maybe all your friends, but you definitely don't speak for the majority. The majority, I can say with a high level of confidence, is financially savvy. The majority is playing live service games more than anything else. The majority has given us good data sets that we can carefully look at without having to guess what's going on. The majority is the reason why PlayStation is taking its games and sending them to PC, following what Xbox did back in 2016 that paid off for them. That, my friend, is the gaming industry. You better let go of your conditioning thinking that, exclusivity is how these things work. It's dead and done. In the side of Xbox anyways, PlayStation can keep cosplaying exclusivity all they want. But we all know the reality. Now, shout out to the Xbox, chief for making sure that he understood value. For him to be able to even convince me to open up the Xbox app and start even logging in, I think he did a good job, because I came from PlayStation back to PC. Didn't even bother with an Xbox. I remember buying an Xbox One twice and selling it again. Bought it on Facebook thinking, let me see what's going on here. I'm like, there's nothing here. But then for me to go to PC and then this guy is like, hey, let me give you something to log into your PC. Salute. Because, man, I have no time for consoles, but I like value where I find it. And this is, in my opinion, something that works for me. If it doesn't work for you, that's understandable. Thanks for watching. Peace out.